Hello, this is Arcady116 of a Fallout 4 settlement build video. Today I'm going to be doing the Echo Lake Lumberyard, which is one of the settlements you can find in the Far Harbor DLC for Fallout 4. So, with this one, I've been working on it for a while, but um, fairly recently it was Canada Day, the 150th celebration. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let's And of course, one of my settlements are under attack. No big deal. Anyway, but well, since it's Canada Day, let's make it kind of Canadian themed to some degree. Because I figured there's no settlements in Fallout 4. Like there might be a mod out there that takes you to Canada, which would be awesome, and I would definitely play it if there was. But I figured in the base game plus the DLCs, there's no place that actually takes place in Canada. So I thought, well, the lumber yard is probably the closest thing, really, even though it's in Maine. So, oh well. Um, just for the hell of it, I'll show my defense first right away. I have some laser turrets up there. Well, a whole bunch of laser turrets, actually.
Every day, another harbor.
And people just keep talking to me. And I have a bunch of rocket turrets up there. And a whole bunch of guard posts. I just threw down the guard posts just for the pure heck of it. I mean, I don't really need the defense that badly, but I thought some of these guard posts are actually kind of cool. Like this one, for example, comes from the Thematic and Practical mod. And this one actually adds 6 defense when you assign a settler. So the settler actually just stands there, which is kind of cool. And of course, as you can see, it's made out of a car and some wood and stuff, so kind of cool looking. And this is another one that came from the Thematic and Practical mod. It's a pickup truck. Broken down pickup truck, so I thought that was kind of cool. So I just threw them down. For some reason, this settler is not not at her post. I mean, she kind of is. And she should be able to jump. Should be able to walk up there. But anyway, since I wanted to do it Canada themed, I had to look for a mod that added some Canadian flags and stuff. Unfortunately, there's not very many options, and there was only one on the Nexus, so I downloaded it, and I thought it was kind of cool to have some Canadian flags. So, yeah, I might have gone overboard on the Canadian flags here, but oh well, whatever. I'm Canadian, so I'm allowed to be proud of my country, right? That's the way I see it. So as you can see, I built this barn as kind of a scrapping place for all my settlers that are assigned to scrapping. So I have a bunch of these scrapping things inside. And you can see one girl hard at work. I put a Brahmin head up there. I just did for the heck of it, since it's a barn anyway, right? For whatever reason, this door's open. Whatever. So, I also put a Canadian flag on the flagpole right here. The weird thing about this place is you feel like you should be able to build over there, but as you can see, the border's right here. Which I thought was kind of odd. So I put another guard post here. I know there's no attack spawn points right here, but I thought, let's just put one there anyway, just for the hell of it. Not that big of a deal. You can see a couple more laser turrets right there. So the interesting thing about this place is there is only one attack spawn point, which is kind of unique for the Far Harbor DLC, because most of them have at least 3. But this one only has 1, and as you can see, it's right here, right at the main gates. This place is actually really easy to defend compared to some of the other ones. So I just threw all the turrets and everything just at the front, because, well, that way enemies will just come here, right? I also put some more scrapping things over here, And I think I also put some on the outside. Probably shouldn't run all the way over there all the time. Thought I put one over here somewhere. Guess not. Anyway. I think those are shotgun turrets, if I remember right. I just put them down for the heck of it. Even more defense. So, going inside,
A lot of people only got the clothes on their back here.
this is kind of still a work in progress. I should probably get a mod to patch these walls and stuff, because it looks kind of funny. But I put a Canadian flag in here, obviously. I'd like to think this was an unofficial embassy for the Canadian government before it got annexed by the Americans and before the Great Wall, or Great Wall,
Whatever.
the Great War and the Fallout lore. So I thought, well, let's just put Canadian stuff here. So I have a bar here, a general store, a weapons and armor merchants, and one of the things that that mod added was this Canadian mixer. You can mix different things like booze, and you can also make them ice cold. So say, for example, these Gwinnett lagers, you can turn them ice cold just by doing this, which I think is really cool. Very cool mod. I highly recommend it if you can get it. It was on the Nexus. Don't recall exactly what it was called, but I can always put what do you call it? Like a link in the description. But anyway, yeah, definitely need to patch these walls, I think. I put a Sunset Sarsaparilla poster right here. Anybody who's played Fallout New Vegas has seen these posters everywhere. It's a kind of like a root beer beverage that was a competitor for Nuka-Cola before the Great War, so I have a Nuka-Cola poster over there, which came from the same mod as the Canada one, by the way, which was kind of cool. I just kind of left this desk here because this computer, if you scrap the desk, you lose the computer, and I thought it was kind of cool, so just left it here. I also have a sleeping bag here for one of the settlers, and a general store, and of course another Canadian flag, because why not, right? I also put this stove here because there was a stove that wasn't working here before, so I thought, so settlers can cook their food, might as well put a stove there, right? And moving up into the attic, again, this place is kind of wrecked, but a couple sleeping bags and a bed. Unfortunately, there's a radiation storm coming in, so yeah, that kind of sucks. So this power armor, you can get these like the pattern to build it in the Vim Pop factory, which is they were one of the competitors of Nuka-Cola before the Great War, and unfortunately there is no Canadian power armor mod that I know of. If there is one, I would highly recommend it if somebody would tell me, because I would love to run around in power armor with the Canadian flag, because that would be so freaking cool. So this is the closest thing I could get to it. So I just made the power armor, the Vim one, because it's red, a little bit of white. So that building I was showing you earlier that I have some of my defense, I have a whole bunch of sleeping bags in here just for the settlers to sleep. I like to use sleeping bags, obviously, because they take up less space. So that's just kind of the way I do it. It's not pretty, but oh well. And this Grognak the Barbarian flag is from the exact same mod as the Canada flags, which I thought was really cool. So I just had to put one up. Here's one of my other locations where I have beds and stuff. Again, another Canadian flag. Some more sleeping bags. Another Grognak poster from the same mod, which I thought was kind of cool. And these beds right here, they came from the Thematic and Practical mod, which I was telling you about with the guard posts over there. So the really cool thing about these beds is, you know, they look like somebody just made them from scrap, just laying around. So it kind of suits the Fallout lore anyway. So you can see there's 4 different ones. Plus there's a bunk bed, but I haven't built it yet. And this poster again is from that same mod as the Canadian one, if I recall. I'm gonna try, well, then again, okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's just sleep until morning. Hopefully we can get some decent daylight. So I'm really sorry about this, but we're just gonna do this real quick. So, yeah, I probably should still work on this place a bit, but... And I will over time. I can always make another video on it at a later date to show off, like, my patched walls and roofs and stuff, but... Yeah, for now, I just thought I'd just get the video out as soon as I can.
With ordnance like that, no wonder you wiped out those crabs.
And it looks like another radiation storm, but at least it's daylight. Oh well, another scrap station. This Vim poster here, you can't scrap, but I still think it's kind of cool. I put a Nuka-Cola flag just above it, just for the heck of it.
In the deep fog,
Right over here,
there are things
I can technically scrap this truck that has all these logs, but I just think it looks awesome for this settlement because it's a lumber yard anyway, so I'll just leave it here. I mean, it's not really harming anything. Of course, I built that building right next to it. So this is kind of my marketplace with a clinic, clothing store, weapons, armor, weapons, clothing, clinic. Yeah, kind of the same thing. But I like to have kind of a marketplace just for the heck of it.
Commonwealth, right?
And this thing right here, I left this as well as all these logs. Because again, this was a lumber yard at one time, so. And I put one of those things that attract the wandering merchants right here. Try and remember what they're called. Trade caravan post. That's what they're called. So I just put it there to attract the merchants from the Commonwealth. So this building I never scrapped or anything. But you can see it's got the conveyor belts that would have fed the logs down into the river or whatever, so. And I have this high grade armor store. I don't really know what this thing is for, but I just thought it was kind of cool looking, and it was from the Thematic and Practical mod that I was telling you about. I know I talk about it a lot in this video, but I just put it down just to see what it does. And I assigned a settler to it, and of course she's not here, but whatever. I have a chemistry station here, because, well, if you're going to be making chems, you might as well do it out in the destroyed barn, right? So, yeah, I could have scrapped all this stuff, but I thought, whatever. And I have pretty much all of my crops over here for 42 people, because there's 42 people at the settlement. So it's a lot of carrots, some gourds, and some, what do you call that stuff again? Huh, I didn't even notice those maple branches. Alright, that's 80 extra wood that I can use for building. Mute fruit that I have over here. So it's plenty of food for everybody. I have this Mirelurk cage to capture a Mirelurk just for the heck of it. It's usually not a good idea, but I thought, what the hell, let's just do it. If you don't know, a Mirelurk is a mutated crab, and they're kind of nasty creatures, but anyway. Right over here I have some couches and chairs that I built with the Thematic and Practical mod. You can see they're all quite different, and I put a fireplace in the middle, so this is kind of a place where people can just hang out and just relax. So kind of nice, right? I left these posts that they would have used for like log competitions or whatever, so yeah, and here's the mute fruit. with a settler who's working on them. And I don't even know if you can scrap these crates, can you? Nope, they're just outside. Alright. So right over here, I put all the workbenches to improve settler happiness. Or I should say weight benches. Sorry, not workbenches. So I figured this is a good place for people to work out, just kind of enjoy the view. As well as a grill here that you can actually use to cook, which is kind of cool. So, and of course here's another cooking station right here. Another one of those mixing stations with the Canada 150 on it. Which I think is kind of cool. So just kind of moving, well, I guess this is like the last area of the of this main building. But I put a bar down here where people actually hang out and have some drinks.
30 years?
I have a Vim poster over here. Well, actually, I think that Vim poster was there by default. Never mind. And I have a holotape player that you can actually listen to the radio, which is kind of cool. And yeah, a soda fountain that I have in this main area
It's dangerous, okay?
that improves settler happiness. And of course, because I'm Canadian, I put up a moose painting. I figured why not? Looks cool. And a couple beds down here. So again, I probably should work on patching these walls, but that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not one of my best builds that I've ever done, but I had fun doing it. So hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed it. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you guys later. Again, happy Canada Day. I know this is kind of late, but oh well, whatever. We'll see you guys later.